For the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, Senior Pastor of New Life Christian Center, located at 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. We're located at the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road. There's parking on Hillcrest. We are the brown brick building located right on the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road. You might ask, why am I sharing that with you? Because on this Sunday, March the 28th, we will be celebrating our 16th anniversary. We have reopened with protocol, so we invite you to come. If you're in our area, come and worship with us at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue at the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Come and experience a better quality of life. We've received a significant increase in viewership, so I wanted to make certain that everyone knows that we are reopened with protocol, and we invite you to come and celebrate with us for our 16th year, but continue to come so that you may experience a better quality of life. 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, is brought to you by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water. And for those of you who continue giving on the give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment by donating on the contribution page of our website at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com, we thank you for your commitment and your support as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life that you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. We are here to discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, right here daily. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers, and you stated that your husband and your two daughters, their stepfather, do not get along, and you feel as though it is always necessary for you to mediate their relationship. So first of all, let me begin by saying this. Stepfather implies taking a step back. You have a husband, a man who has decided to step up. So because your daughters are both teenagers, they're still learning to develop their relationship. And I know what you're saying. Well, it's been years, but they're still teenagers. So they're going through their teenage dynamics, but they're also trying to learn to navigate the relationship between having two fathers. Because let's just keep it real. That's exactly what they are. They have two fathers. And so what you have to ask yourself is, why do you find it necessary to mediate? Allow them to work out their own relationship. It's not like your husband's abusive. It's not like he is verbally or physically abusive. He is a solid man. God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. He's a solid man. He wants to love the girls as he loves you. So allow them to navigate their own relationship. Don't find it necessary to mediate. And as they grow, and as the girls become older, once they have graduated from high school, and once they graduate from college, and we don't know how long it will take for them to learn to fit together in a relationship, but eventually it will happen. And they'll learn each other's personalities, they'll learn each other's dynamics, and they will figure out the type of relationship they're going to have. The problem is, and let me say this, you don't necessarily find it necessary to mediate. You choose to mediate. You think that it's necessary, but it's really not necessary, because these are people who are learning, just as we all learn, to navigate our relationships with everyone. These are people who are just learning to navigate their own relationships. The thing is, you love your husband and you love your daughters. But the reality is, they're going to learn to love one another on their own terms. Stop trying to be the ship captain. It's not necessary. You're not ever going to find a situation where, so let me just say this to you. If a man chooses to marry a woman who already has children, he's made a choice. If he's a good man, he's made a choice that he's going to love your children as if they're his own. And when he does that, you have to allow him the process of becoming the father, and allow him the process of navigating his relationship with the children, so that you all can be a great family and have a great quality of life. Everyone's personality is going to be different, but personalities can mesh together on their own terms. Sometimes we try to fit square pegs in a round hole, and it's not possible to accomplish that. So we just have to allow them to shave off their own edges, allow them to fit together, and allow them to navigate their own relationship. And I'm going to tell you, to God be the glory. You don't know when it's going to work together in harmony. But I can tell you this: God brought the two of you together that you could be a blessing to one another's lives, and that you could bless the lives of your children, that you could build a strong family and bless the lives of your children. You've got teenage girls. Teenage girls are one of the most difficult specimens on the planet Earth. The truth of the matter is, you have to allow them to grow into young women and eventually into women, and they'll form their own relationship with both their fathers. Whatever that may look like, they'll form their own relationship with both of their fathers. What you have to do is just be the mother. You have the easy job. Listen, parenting is not easy for any of us. But you have the easy job, because you get to just be the mother. They have to be two fathers who are not competing with one another for the affections of their daughters, but two fathers who are loving their daughters and helping them to get to the place that God has appointed for their lives. And so for all of our listeners and viewers, if you're blending a family, you have to recognize that it takes time for everyone to walk in harmony together, because everyone's trying to figure out the dynamics of what a blended family looks like. It's not something that was part of daily life from the beginning. But once it blends together, and once everyone's walking together in harmony, it is going to be a great life. Allow your teenage girls to develop their own relationship with their new father, I'll say Godfather, because that's a man that was provided by God for their lives. You just have to be the mother. Relax, and don't concern yourself with the fact that they don't get your communication was that they don't get along. It's not that they don't get along, it's that they're trying to navigate. They're trying to navigate their feelings and their relationship. Allow them the privilege of doing that. And I can tell you as I sit here today, that God has a plan for all of your lives, and it's of good and not of evil. Allow them to grow, and as they become young women, they will have their own relationship with him, with your husband, their bonus father. because they're privileged to have two people, two men who will love them the right way. Unfortunately, you and your ex-husband couldn't remain married, but it doesn't imply he's a bad man. It just implies that the two of you couldn't live together. All four of them will work out their own relationship. The two fathers may not have a relationship, but they have one thing in common, and that's the two daughters. Allow them the privilege of developing and navigating their own relationship. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest nationwide 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can experience T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill when you become a T-Mobile customer. And if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a monthly discount on your T-Mobile bill at T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have been feeling extremely fatigued and you are not certain what to do about it, and you want to know if I have any suggestions. So, really interestingly enough, we have a monthly contributor. So you're new to the broadcast, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We have a monthly contributor. You can go back and view the archives. Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com, who has shared some tips with us that will help us to be whole in our body, mind, and spirit. So I'm going to also address a few things that you can do, because as I was prayerful about this, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. One of the things you need is more rest. And I can tell you, I could use some of that also. But one of the things you're going to need is more rest to eliminate some of the, to reduce and eliminate the fatigue. You're going to need more rest. Try getting at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Just make an effort, a conscious effort. Sometimes we have to be intentional about this because we start working on things that take us into a later hour. We have to be really intentional about this. So really focus on trying to get at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep. And then I'm going to encourage you to do this. Drink more water. One of the things that I recognize that we have a problem with in our society is that we really need to drink more water. H2O, hydrogen and oxygen. Our body needs both of those things. So I've often said, try to drink at least 1 gallon of water every single day. But I read an article, a little research article that I read that says that really we should be drinking 50% of our body weight in fluid ounces per day. So, if you, in your case, because where you are right now in your weight, just divide it by 2. That's 50% of your body weight. Try to drink that many fluid ounces of water per day. Now, I know that's going to be a struggle for you because you haven't been drinking a lot of water. But I have to tell you, it will help you to reduce some of the fatigue if you're drinking more water. And then improve your eating habits. So, as I announced, Rebecca Buva, our licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, every month gives us a recipe in addition to sharing things with us that will allow us to enhance our body. And I encourage everyone, go on our website, BeccaTheDietitian.com. There will be some tips and some habits that you can develop. There will be tips that will provide you with habits that you can develop that will improve your health and wellness. But improve your eating habits. Now, here's what we've got to remember. Don't deny yourself of everything you enjoy. Just reduce the intake of the calories we consume every day. If you're not burning them off, and right now we're still in the pandemic process, which I'm going to address that in a moment because I got a lot of communications from people regarding a topic about returning to a new norm. So I'll address that in a moment. But we've been really eating poorly in many cases throughout the pandemic. We've been, we laugh about the COVID-19, but yesterday I was reading an article that said that people are gaining on an average about 20 plus 29 pounds. The article said, this is something we've got to be conscious about and intentional. Improve our eating habits. Just make sure that we are consuming less calories if we're not burning them off. So we have to make certain that we are taking in fruits, vegetables, and that we're not overeating because we're not burning it off. We're not moving around as much. Now we're moving around a little more since things have been opening up. We're moving around a little more than we were previously. Although we want to make sure that we are not consuming more calories than we're burning off. So let's be careful about that. Just improve your eating habits. And then the other thing is getting some exercise. You've got to find ways to get exercise. Now, you're not in our part of the country, so I will tell you right now, today it's raining, it's not sunny outside, but tomorrow it's supposed to be 71, and I'm going to encourage everyone who walks or runs or does any other activities outside, get out and do something. I plan to get a run in tomorrow and just get some exercise. And thank God the temperatures are improving because we'll be able to get out and run in our part of the country on a consistent basis. But you're in an area where you have a warmer climate and you can get out and get some exercise. If you're not a runner, go out and walk. If you go out and walk a couple of miles every day, that's going to help. If you play tennis, go out and play tennis. If you're like me and you enjoy golf, go out and play golf. But I'm saying that for all of our listeners and viewers. Find something that you enjoy doing that as we go into spring and summer and fall, let's get out and make sure we get some exercise. But in your case, for our listener and viewer, these are the suggestions that I can make for you to improve your health and wellness, to really eliminate the fatigue. Not just reduce it, but to eliminate the fatigue. So remember, get more rest, drink more water, improve your eating habits, and get some exercise. Whatever exercise you can get as much exercise as you can possibly get. And for those of you who are for example, are in climates that are not conducive to you getting out right now to enjoy the outdoors and get some exercise, you can still do floor exercises at home. If you have some light weights, you can do some light weights. There are videos online, exercise programs that you can do that will help to improve our health and wellness. I can't tell you how excited I am about the change of weather and being able to get back out and run and get out on the golf course. We've got to make certain that we're finding ways of getting some exercise. But right now, if you're in our area, or if you're on the eastern seaboard, or if you're in the Midwest where it's still colder temperatures, just continue if you've already been doing it. And if not, start doing it. Get some floor exercises in, do push-ups, do sit-ups, whatever you're capable of doing, get it done so that we can ensure that we're whole in our body, mind, and spirit. And of course, not tomorrow, but the following Thursday, the first Thursday of the month, with us will be Rebecca Boover, our licensed and registered dietitian, our monthly contributor, who will be with us to help us ensure that we improve our health and wellness and that we are whole in body, mind, and spirit. So you don't want to miss that broadcast. You don't want to miss any broadcast, but you can go back and view the archives. You will see that she provides us with information that is going to help us improve our health and our wellness. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrrell, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, you can check for the store hours, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need: shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Terrett at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And the White Company, located in London, the UK, they also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. If you're in New York, check for their store hours, stop in at the retail store. They have everything you could possibly need: home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from the White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband says that you are easily distracted and that you waste a lot of time, although you like doing things your own way, and you want to know, is there something that you can do to ensure that you are not distracted and that you're no longer wasting time? So, okay, you have responded to the comments that your husband has made. Here's what's interesting. We all find moments that we waste time. We just need to be more effective and more efficient with our time. That's why there is a component of our lives that requires time management. So time management, and this is very interesting that you sent this communication in last week, because my wife and I had a conversation about this on our way home from Sunday service on Sunday, but in a different way. But time is real important in all of our lives. And none of us know just how much time we have. What we do know is that if we wake up every morning, if God gives us another breath of life, we have another day in front of us that we can maximize our potential and our opportunities. So one thing we don't want to do is waste time. And I like to use the analogy, we don't want to waste God's time. We want to make certain that we are maximizing every minute, every hour of every day. And the way that we do that is to focus on every aspect of our lives that we are trying to build success. And that is our personal lives and our professional lives. So it's going to be real important that even in that, we can take moments for self-care. But that's not a waste of time. But we don't want to waste time. Sometimes we just need to pause and do something that's going to stimulate our brain, or just pause to reflect on what you've accomplished thus far throughout the day and what you can do to finish the day strong. Every minute of every day should mean something to us. So we have to manage our time effectively and efficiently throughout the day. You get distracted by many things, but this isn't new. You didn't just become distracted by the fact that you are working from home. You were distracted when you were working in the office. You get distracted by little things. And, you know, interestingly enough, the Bible tells us it's the little foxes that spoil the whole vine. It's the little things that we do that disrupt the quality of our lives. So we've got to do a better job of really examining what we want to accomplish both personally and professionally, and work every hour of every day to accomplish that. So I think God allows me to see in that secret place of your life. Your husband's only concern is that he wants all of you, himself, you, and your children, all three of your children, to manage their time effectively and efficiently. Now, all three of your children are adults. You have one in college, you have two that are out of college, but here's the good news. The bad habits that we've developed of wasting time can be improved. those habits can be changed into a more positive aspect of constructive behavior. So think about this. The little things that get you distracted, you've got to eliminate those. So first you're going to find it difficult to reduce them, but you'll reduce them. And then you'll reduce the distractions. And then you've got to eliminate them. So you've got to identify what your distractions are. And once you've identified the distractions, then you can focus on reducing and eliminating them. So I'll give you some examples because, as I said, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. So don't be distracted during the business day with calls from your siblings. You're spending your day pausing to chat with your siblings about things that you can discuss with them when you're not working, after hours, after business hours. Don't become distracted by shopping online during business hours. Wait until the end of the day. If something comes to your mind that you want to purchase or that you think that you need in your household, write it down and make a list, and at the end of the day, go online and do what you need to do. It will eliminate wasting time so that you can be more productive, in your professional life, in your career. Our personal lives, we can always make the adjustments necessary to improve the quality of our lives once we identify the distractions. So we often talk about being whole in body, mind, and spirit. Don't allow distractions to keep you from exercising. Don't allow distractions to keep you from getting enough rest at night. Don't allow distractions to become part of your daily life and then impact the quality of your life, both personally and professionally. So we just have to eliminate distractions and really focus on what we want to accomplish, personally and professionally. Focus is going to be very important. So I'm glad that he has brought that to your attention, that your focus, you're being distracted from your focus. So let's really make it a point to be intentional, to focus on the things that we really desire, the success we desire to accomplish, both personally and professionally. Don't waste any more of God's time doing things that are not going to enhance the quality of your lives, that are not going to be an example to your children to follow. Even as adults, they still pick up on our habits, our routine. Even as young adults, they do. We have to be careful that we give them good life skills, because that's where they're going to develop some of their life skills that are going to continue over the course of their life. Because this is a course. It's a course it's an obstacle course that we're running. Life is just that. You want to make sure they have the tools, and the way that we make sure they have the tools to be successful on the obstacle course is by demonstrating to them good life skills. One thing I want to encourage all of our listeners and viewers, let's focus on maximizing the gift of time that God has given to each and every one of us. Let's maximize that gift so that we can all experience the fullness of God in all of our lives. This is what it has to be about daily for each and every one of us. And that is that we learn to develop and build the success that God has appointed for each of our lives, that we maximize that success so that we can experience the fullness of God, and then that we learn to maximize the fullness of God in all of our lives, that we might enhance the quality of our lives, and that we can have exactly what God has purposed for us, and that is that we have life and that we have it more abundantly. So I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers before we go off the air today that some of you have expressed that you're concerned about having to now develop a new norm because people are being vaccinated and we're coming out of the pandemic. You lived before this pandemic, you're going to be able to live again. You'll navigate